Where you are right now, you need to understand it is not your final destination, my gorgeous Aquarius, okay? So where you are right now, no matter what you think, no matter how you feel, this is going to change, because very, very soon you are going to realize that it's time to move on. And I think that you have found yourself at a place where you maybe call it like a home and things like that, but it's just basically temporary. And don't want to burst your bubble. Please don't like have a go at me, you know, like, oh no, I'm absolutely happy where I am, blah blah blah. Yes, you may be, yes you can be, that's absolutely fine, but I'm not saying that, you know, this is gonna change. I'm not talking about your happiness. I'm just talking about you realizing very, very soon, which is actually gonna happen this week. You're already going to have a little glimpse of what is about to happen. You are gonna go into this like a kind of like a psychic mode again, like a very powerful intuitive mode, where on one hand you're gonna kind of start having glimpse of your future, and it's gonna happen in such a weird and bizarre way, and you are going to find yourself thinking about yourself, thinking about your future, but something is just not going to seem right, especially when it comes to you reflecting on your future. You're going to realize now suddenly that where you are at the moment, it's only temporary, which is absolutely fine. That must not throw you out of balance whatsoever. This should actually be a very good and healthy sign that, you know, your life is moving on. There were so many difficulties that you've been dealing with, and these difficulties, personal difficulties that you've been dealing with, they've affected you. So bless your heart, you managed to stay on top of things, you managed to stay on top of everything. You had a time and energy to give to absolutely everybody else around you. I love you so much for this, because I know about your goodness. I know what a beautiful people you are. But then at the same time, almost as if you managed to you managed to stay on top of things for like other people in your life. This is how good your heart is. And maybe you didn't even realize this, that you have kind of just a little bit found yourself being a little bit stuck. Please don't get me wrong, this is all going to become absolutely obvious to you when it comes to this particular week. And what am I trying to say to you? That it's to do with this natural flow of life that I'm talking about. And when I say a natural flow of life, is basically going to come to you in such a way where you will realize that you want more out of your current situation. But that in itself is going to highlight maybe you being a little bit unhappy with your surroundings, and this is really going to be a sign that you're going to realize that where you are at the moment is just a temporary location, because now you have been prepared for a long time to move on. And you moving on, it's not to do only with your life, but it's also to do with your location, my gorgeous Aquamarini. And some of you are going to realize this, you know, as I said, like this week, but some of you are going to take slightly longer. So even if you don't realize this week that you are going to move on from the location that you are currently at, you know, this is going to come to you either this week, or it's going to come to you within the next few weeks. And if you are unable to move, if you cannot move whatsoever, then this in itself I completely understand, because you may not be able to move due to so many different things. But that in itself is then going to reflect on you wanting to make like a really massive changes, because for the love of God you are going to understand that you need more, and you are going to need to establish what exactly is making you feel so unhappy. So if you are completely like kind of unable to move, as I said, due to like various reasons, then this is going to reflect on you realizing this week or within the next few weeks like how much you have to make a certain change, because this in itself, it's now going to start making you feel really unhappy and really uncomfortable. And it is not good for us, and it is not good for you, and it is not good for anybody to waste their time and to be somewhere where you are just really unhappy. If you feel like you don't fit somewhere, then you don't fit somewhere. Then go somewhere where you feel like you're gonna fit. But I know that you're gonna realize that almost as if like your surroundings are just like kind of are not giving to you anymore what you actually need. And I know you probably, when you hear this reading, it's going to be like, oh my God, what on earth is he talking about? But then you just have to understand one step at a time, and you are going to have a glimpse of this. You will understand that this is going to, whether you believe this or not, it's going to become absolutely imminent, because it's affecting your life, and it's going to be affecting your quality of life. And this spiritual journey is ever so short, and you know this. We are on this earth for like 5 minutes, like literally. Now seriously, we are on this earth for such a short period of time. So when it comes to us having this guidance and these feelings and these emotions and these realizations, how much something is making us unhappy, you know, sometimes we are really down and we are really negative for a long time, and we don't know what is making us feel this way. And then suddenly we realize it was for such a long time at the back of our subconscious mind. It is to do with where you are. It is to do with where you spend the most of your time. You really need to work on it and see exactly what do you need to do. My gorgeous Aquamarini, like this is so important, like oh my God. And also, you know, something that you've been worrying about so much for such a long time, whether this was like some kind of a meeting that you needed to have, or maybe you needed to meet with certain person, or you were just so scared and worried about it, you know, like whether you needed to meet with one person or a couple of people or a group of people. There is some kind of a meeting that you are just so worried about, you're just so uncertain about, and it's just like, oh my God, you're almost like scared about, you're so nervous about. And this is something that you're going to find out about, some kind of meeting that you're going to need to have, and this meeting, it's going to make you feel so nervous, but it's actually going to turn out to be absolutely brilliant. This meeting that you're going to find out that you've been worried about so much, my gorgeous Aquamarini, it's about talking to someone, and it's about discussing some kind of a problem and some kind of issue, and you are going to be kind of aware of this. This is going to obviously, like, you're going to become aware of this because you're going to need to be there. But something is just gonna like really make you so worried, like oh my God. And the bottom line is that once you have this meeting or this important conversation, you're gonna need to discuss something. It is not going to be what you think that you're gonna be discussing. You're gonna be discussing about something completely different, but and this is gonna really put your mind to rest. It's gonna make you feel so good, because you were worried like, oh my God, we're gonna be discussing something that I'm gonna absolutely explode, something you will be prepared on, something really bad and negative, something like, oh my God, something which is like kind of touching your nerve in so many different ways. We're going to be talking about this, but no, actually it is going to be a really pleasant surprise. So my God, for the love of God, as soon as you become aware of this important conversation, you need to like go for it and see that this is going to be like completely different. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarini, at the beginning of this week, you have to protect yourself. You must protect yourself. There is this older person, there is somebody in your life, like a family member or somebody in your life, you know, and somebody prominent in your life, you know. And even if it's not like an older, but if you haven't got anybody older in your life, then it's somebody like really prominent person. And whether this is like, maybe this is like your family member, like a mother, father, or somebody older. If it's not older, it's somebody really prominent who you need to understand that you need to say something to this person that you're so worried about. And this is like, oh my God, this information that you need to give to this person, prominent person, you just need to be very smart and very clever how you're gonna say this to them. Okay, so you can't just say like, oh yeah, listen, this and that. No baby, no, you need to be really smart. So you must make sure that this other person, you need to make sure that this other purple person, no, sorry, I'm joking, you need to make sure that this other person is like kind of doesn't think that you are taking an advantage of that person. okay? I know it sounds really weird. So you really need to go around really gently and nicely and slowly, but surely working your way through, working your way forward, because it's about you saying something to that person so important, and that person is the only person who can make some kind of edit, or who can do some kind of edit. You see what I mean? For you, for example. So it's something that only that person can do for you. Maybe sign something, or like, do you know what I mean? I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. But you must do everything you possibly can so that person doesn't think that you're trying to take an advantage of them, because you're not. You're only rightly having what is yours, what belongs to you. Because if you don't do this, you're not going to be able to protect yourself. By doing this, you're protecting something that is yours and something that belongs to you. And if you don't do this, you're going to put that particular thing in danger, and you may lose it. And it's going to be even more mental when you realize who you can lose this to the people in your life that are meant to be the best people in your life, the closest people in your life. Dark Lala, hello darling. But it's to do with people who are meant to be the closest people in your life, you know. But then you are not going to be surprised about it. People can be horrible sometimes, really horrible. As soon as it's to do with money, as long as it's to do with money, people show such a worms behind a mask. Hello love, that are wearing, you know, such a worms sometimes. The money brings the worst in people, and this is to do with maybe money, and it's to do with like a something that belongs to you. Not maybe it's not necessarily money, but it's something that belongs to you. Do you know what I mean? And it's truly yours. But you have to still kind of get in touch with that particular person. I really hope this makes sense, my gorgeous Aquamarini, but this is really important. You know yourself that already there have been so many things that actually happened within the last few weeks that really surprised you, but in a good way. And you know, it's like few things that you were like kind of worrying, you know, and within the last few weeks, they turn out to be actually really okay. So you just need to kind of remind yourself of the fact that you've been worrying like and thinking really negatively, but the things actually did turn out to be really good, but they only happen because of you, the way you are. You always have to stand your ground. You always have to stand your ground, okay? And if you do think that someone is taking an advantage of you, then you just need to even, you know, you need to say something. You need to do something about it. Indeed, you are going to need to put a point across, you know, your point across, you know, with like a few different people in your life, you know, because, you know, a few different people in your life, immediate people, started to get on your nerves, and you haven't even done anything wrong whatsoever. Maybe it's just a little bit of like a jealousy when it comes to your own success in the way you are, because you really are really wonderful people. You're ever so charismatic, and you are pure light, and the pure light always attracts bastard darkness. Of course, the light cannot go without the dark, innit? So the light cannot go without the darkness. So you're the light, and you're naturally attract darkness. So this is when people become a little bit jealous, and you are going to need to really put your point across with few different people, like when it comes to this week as well. You need to put them in their place without being too rude, without being too horrible, almost as if like you need to show who is the boss here, my gorgeous Aquamarini. You are the boss, okay? And this is why you know, it's important for you to put yourself down, put yourself down, not yourself down, but to put your foot down, indeed. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarini, when it comes to the beginning of this week, you know, you are really gonna, you know, listen to this. Pam 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 para pa pam 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 pa 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 pam 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 para pa pam pam. I'm sorry, but it's like a really great opportunity that you're actually going to become aware of at the beginning of this week. My gorgeous Aquamarinis, your readings are always so deep. They're very deep, and they're very complex, and you're one of the signs that have been going through like, oh my god, so much within the within the last 2 or 3 years. You've been going through like so so much, like, oh my goodness. And this is why your readings are so complex. You know, there is so much when it comes to your readings, and you know, and this is why I needed to take 2 or 3 days out to do your readings as well, in order to rejuvenate myself and re-energize, because I know that a lot is going to be coming indeed. So at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you are going to become aware of this really, really important opportunity. You are going to become aware of this really important opportunity. But where the problem is, when you become aware of this, is that almost instantly you are going to feel like you're not prepared for this. No, baby, no. You're absolutely 1,000,000% prepared for this opportunity. Listen to me very carefully, okay? You are going to become aware of this huge opportunity, but you are going to think like you are not prepared for it, but you actually are. You need to understand that you have to, for the love of God, accept this challenge. By accepting this challenge, you're also going to relinquish control. And this is now so important, because you are going to have a clarity that you didn't have before. So all you need to understand, as soon as you become aware of this amazing opportunity, that in itself, you are going to feel like you're not prepared for this, but no, you actually are. You're going to need to change your way of thinking then and there. And you're also going to need to understand that the tact is necessary to maintain pace, because this big opportunity that you are going to have, it's also going to be consisting of you being able to recover what was lost. Okay, so this opportunity, it's also going to be a great deal of you being able to recover what is lost. So now, you know, basically, and it's almost like maybe at some point in time, you're going to be remember, you're going to remind yourself, oh my God, I've been dealing with this obstacle, with this horrible obstacle, and I haven't been thinking clearly. There was so much going on in my life, and I've been drinking every day. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. There was so much going on in my life, and there was this obstacle that you're going to remind yourself. So listen, I'm just going to go back slightly. So it's about the desire to recover what is lost. This is the great deal to do with that particular opportunity. And then you're going to remind yourself, when you were dealing with some kind of obstacle, when you weren't yourself, and this was a while back, you made some unwise plans, okay? And these unwise plans have affected you, have slowed you down financially, have slowed you down emotionally, and have clouded so much in your life. There is a really huge lesson that you've already learned when it comes to this, but sadly you're still having bits and pieces connected to it. So something really bad that was going on in your life when you made unwise plans, this is still a little bit, tiny little bit going on, just few little strings attached still. But this is very, very soon going to become a history, baby, indeed. So this is where this is coming from, this obstacle that you dealt with when you made unwise plans. So now you're going to be able to kind of like really have the opportunity to you know, to recover what is lost. And this in itself, it's going to bring, you know what, this is bringing you a huge respect. This is going to bring a huge respect. Those who didn't respect you are going to respect you now, okay? You will see, because in as little as 7 weeks, there are going to be these events you're going to become aware of that are just only very, very special people can be part of these events, okay? That's all what I can say. So this is going to bring amazing respect into your life. It's going to make you aware of that you survived something really, really difficult. It's going to be it's going to bring the moment of one of the biggest liberation of your life, and it's going to bring a freedom. That in itself, it's also going to recharge you psychically, intuitively. It's going to ground you. It's going to heal you, and at the same time, it's going to bring security into your life, especially when it it comes to you knowing, oh my God, I'm going to have so much stability, like from now to, from now and onwards. And it's also a lot to do with an expansion. You are expanding after this moment in time. You're about to progress through your own stability, but you are gonna need to like kind of just take you are gonna be like a kind of taken back just a little bit, and you will see a couple of days after that moment in time you are gonna feel naturally you want to have a mini little break, and you are going to, because this is what your soul is gonna be needing, this is what your spirit is gonna be needing. And then when you have this little break, not that long after that moment in time, you are gonna realize, what do you need to let go of, but you're also gonna realize this new perspective that, it's coming into your life. But especially when it comes to you not needing to sacrifice something that you were so worried about sacrificing, and you're gonna love this so much, so you don't need to sacrifice something that you were worried about sacrificing. No, baby, no. Just do what you wanna do what you're passionate about, and most importantly, pay attention to those things that are gonna bring happiness into your life and make your quality of life so much better, because now you are gonna have the power of this emotional stability that you didn't have in absolute ages. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you know what, like you've been worrying about someone really in your life, somebody very sensitive, maybe somebody really, really young, you've been worrying about, and whether this is your child, whether this is your family member, whether this is like maybe the child of your friend or something, but there is some really younger person that you've been really worried about, and that younger person is going to be absolutely fine. That younger person that you've been worrying about is going to show this week a very, very beautiful skill. Very beautiful skill. And I'm smiling because it's only like you're really going to be surprised, but you're not going to be surprised. So you're going to be surprised because you know that this is, I'm talking about someone really special. And but the skill that beautiful little young spirit is going to show you, it's going to be so important, because it's going to be also such a wonderful way out of some kind of confusion that little young spirit has actually been through. So what the skill that younger spirit is going to show, it's something that is going to make you feel so good, but it's also kind of really powerful sign and indication what this young spirit needs in form of bringing into their lives, or like helping them to go towards that direction. You will see how it's like to do with the talent. It's to do with the talent. And you see someone who died, grieving, somebody who died in your life, all right, somebody who went. It's going to return like a zombie. Oh my God, someone is knocking on the door. Oh my God, it's my granny, it's my nana. Nana, what's happened? No, I'm joking. No, let's be serious here. So there is a sign. You know what is going to happen now. Suddenly at around the midweek, you are going to have this moment where you're going to feel again some kind of spirit. And I've seen this before. Yes, I know, but you're so spiritual, it doesn't surprise me. Somebody who died and passed away, the particular spirit has got such a powerful connection with you in particular. There could be 150 of you in your family, but that particular spirit has got a very powerful connection with you, and you are going to feel that spirit. But before you feel this spirit, now suddenly you're going to look at something that is going to remind you of that spirit. And then when that happens, there is something else that it's actually going to look, your psychic abilities are going to be absolutely heightened. So you just have to go with your intuition, because as soon as you become aware of this, like a spirit around you, you will know who this is. At around that time, there is also something which is really, really going to inspire you. There is something that is going to inspire you so much at around that time, that when you become aware of that spirit, and what is going to inspire you, it's also going to bring such a powerful prosperity into your life. That spirit is going to come through and forward to actually let you know that what inspires you at around that time, it's also going to bring prosperity, security, and protection as well. Oh my God, my gorgeous Aquamarini. And also at around the midweek, you know, this is brilliant. This is fantastic because again, oh my God, it's a lot to do with like a people in your life, you know. You are really gonna have such a big reward here because you will see what an impact you have made, especially when it comes to this family matter, family problem. You see, again, fantastic. You're gonna find this absolutely so rewarding because it's to do with some kind of idea that you had, and it was to do with like some kind of family matter and some kind of problem that was going on for the last like at least 10 months in your life. So it's not coming to an end, but you will see that the things are moving on, and it was with your idea. So now for the first time in absolute ages, with something very specific, you know, here things are going to start moving on. And I've been telling you about this for such a long time, that someone in your life is been having taken an advantage of. Somebody in your life who is an older person, somebody in your life who's very vulnerable, is that particular person is been taking someone is taking an advantage of that person so much, and that person is not themselves true to their age. Something is going on. Again, I'm not saying the people who are older, something is wrong with them. Please don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that is due to their age. Something is kind of slowing them down a little bit. So there is this snake who's persistently taking an advantage of that older person in your life, and it's to do with that situation, and you know this, and you were aware of this for so long. But sometimes, you know, there is nothing you can do if that older person in your life is allowing that person to actually do this, and you were aware of this, and you were very, very clever what you've done. So now you're gonna have a really important news, which is not gonna, oh my God, everything is finalized, but you will see, oh my God, the idea that you had, it really helped out. So now after this moment in time, things are gonna start resolving themselves before it's too late. Very, very important indeed, because this is going to give you a confidence, but it's also going to make you feel so good, because at the same time this has been like really clouding you, and it was like making you feel unhappy, and it was creating a lack of a vision in your life, you know, and it was making your heart to be broken as well, because you've been worried for so much. So this now in itself, it's going to be so important, because you know now you're gonna have even more determination and strong willpower, you know, to actually work on this, because you will know that this was a very, very intelligent choice for you to kind of deal with in the first place, because it is bringing indeed an important resolution and a control over a situation that you absolutely like, that was draining your energy for so long. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarini, at around the midweek, you are going to have a little bit of an unexpected change, which is going to come in a form of you needing to commit yourself to something. And you have to do this. You need to commit yourself to something, and it's to do with like you putting a really huge amount of personal effort towards something, and you're going to feel like, oh my God, this is so unfair. Why am I the only one to commit to this when there are so many other people that can do this as well? But this is why you're so different. And I know sometimes this world is unfair. Sometimes things are really unfair, but because you're so powerful, your light is shining so brightly, sometimes people do expect a little bit too much from you, and they can get used to it. You see, this is the problem. But then again, this is something that you need to kind of deal with, but you need to understand you are actually the only one who can do this. So you need to commit yourself. This unexpected change that you're going to become aware of is going to show you that you have to commit yourself to some kind of a burden, which is going to require a little bit of extra responsibility and the hard work. But you need to do that, because otherwise this is not going to come to the actual completion. And also, when it comes to the midweek, my gorgeous Aquamarini, just pay attention to the actual synchronicities. Pay attention to the synchronicities. Be open to spiritual guidance. You have to rely on yourself as well. You have to rely on yourself. So like, you're going to be dealing with lots of things that they need to really kind of, you must not go into the mode of over-analyzing. You just have to go with the first instinct, because by doing doing this, you are going to be able to notice changes that you would never be able to notice normally, you see. So by paying attention to synchronicities, you will be open to spiritual guidance. That is in itself going to help you to rely on yourself, but most importantly, it's going to open your eyes, and you are going to become aware of the changes that we would otherwise never notice, but they are as important. By the time you get to the last part of this week, such a beautiful and absolutely gorgeous experience. I like this so much. This experience is going to make you feel alive again. This experience is going to make you feel so good. This experience is going to bring thirst for life. This experience is going to shake you up. This experience is going to open your eyes. This experience is also going to be kind of like prominent when it comes to you wanting to move on with your life. You know what I started this reading with? This experience is going to make you aware of the fact that there is so much for you to do, so much for you to explore, so much for you to try, so much that for you to enjoy. But bless your heart, you've been through so much. So the bottom line is that you are going to have a really beautiful and gorgeous experience, or again, almost like, oh my God, like a little adventure. But most importantly, this is going to help you to come out of yourself. This is going to help you to come out of your comfort zone. And then very soon later, you're going to realize, oh my God, a very creative opportunity, which is going to come as in a form of such a nice and happy surprise, where at that moment in time, you're going to really remind yourself, you're going to be thinking about this highly spiritual person in your life, somebody who means to you so much, somebody who's very spiritual, somebody who's very emotionally balanced, and somebody who is, again, a bit of a Marmite. You either love this person or you either hate this person. But then at the same time, you know, you're going to be reminded of somebody really spiritual, and then you're going to realize, like, because of that person, you're gonna see this creative opportunity, this happy surprise that you're gonna become aware of, like in even better light, and even more important light, which is gonna lead towards an additional idea, you know, which is gonna help you to connect yourself with yourself. An idea that you're going to have, it's like basically, it's all about, you know, you understanding what a balance this is gonna bring, what an amazing balance this is actually going to bring into your life. It's a lot to do with a work-life balance, but at the same time, it's about you understanding that you need to be patient, and this is all going to lead not only towards you having an important idea here, how you're going to kind of change your life, what you need to bring into your life, what's missing, but this is also going to lead towards you finding a meaning and clarity and truth, you know, about, you know, yourself, and about what you want, and about you know, how you feel, you know, and things like that. And also, just remember, my gorgeous Aquamarine, at around the end of the week, you have to forgive yourself, because there is something that you're going to be blaming yourself for something so badly. You need to understand that you must forgive yourself for something, and by forgiving yourself, you are literally going to reclaim your power. Okay, my gorgeous Aquamarine, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.